the Timeless Pick a Card reading, and we're going to be looking at what they say about you. So you might have a certain person on your mind and you're just kind of curious, what do they say about you when you're not around? What kind of things would they say even? For some of you, maybe there are situations where you guess that they're probably not talking about you, but what would they say? You know, like how would they describe you? Like what do they kind of think about you? What would they repeat to other people? So that's kind of the vibe we're going for in this reading, and I hope it's enlightening and helpful for you, and hopefully you find a message that resonates with you. Of course, to find a message that's going to resonate with you, it's all reliant on your intuition. So I want you to take a deep breath, calm your mind, think about that person, and say, what would they say about me? What do they say about me? Okay, so we have 4 groups to choose from: 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you're kind of contemplating this question, definitely see where your eyes feeling drawn, where you're feeling drawn to. Is there a specific flower here that's really sticking out to you, or one you just know you got to go to? That'll probably be your answer. So with that being said, if you like this video, if you like the topic, give me a thumbs up so I know that I should do more of these videos in the future. If you would like to see more content, please subscribe and stick around. If you'd like a personal reading with me, that information is all in the description box. And you can also join here on the channel as a member and get exclusive pick a card readings. And last month we had 6 of them. So yeah, you get like 6 extra videos. There are different tiers, so each one gets a little bit of a different thing. The smallest tier, the moon, doesn't get nearly all the pick a cards that the middle tier, the world gets. But yeah, anyway, go ahead and look at it and you'll see. So lots of love to you guys. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll see you in your reading. Hey guys, so if you chose group number 1 here with this beautiful flower, I like this one the best, at least the flower. I really like, I'm not a red person actually, despite being such an Aries. I have an Aries Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus. You'd think I'd be more into red, not so much. But this is a beautiful rose, I have to say. I really like this one out of all of them. It's got a beautiful color. So, the person on your mind, what do they say about you? Let's find out. So we've got sincerity. We've got the Lovers. We've got commit. I want to say, you guys, with all sincerity, really, and we have the word sincerity here, I feel like this person, especially for those of you asking about a romantic connection or something like that, gosh, this person, it's like you're the one, and they tell people that, okay? Like you're the one, they have, really good connection with you, they're committed to you, that sort of thing is what really comes through for me. So, courageous comes to my mind, and it's actually a word that I really kind of channeled as I was doing this, as I was, shuffling the cards. But it's so funny because we have the claw here and it says, be careful to not take risks. You are courageous, but not to a fault, okay? You're not courageous to where you like shoot your own foot off, or, you know what I mean? You make mistakes that are like crazy. You're very smart. This person, they would really talk you up as being one of the most knowledgeable persons they know. I feel like, again, with the Lovers and commit, I'm going to go back to that for a minute. The Lovers, of course, it's kind of like our ideal mate, especially in this card in particular. It really gives off that vibe of connection. So I would say that this person, it's like they look at you and they see like a soulmate or someone that just really vibes well with them, even if it's platonic, even if this is a situation where you're platonic, it's like we vibe, we are a unit, we chose each other, we feel good together, you know what I mean? It's just like really strong connection, okay? And with commit, of course, I love it. Of course, you may be a very committed person, and you may even be committed in a kind of a behind-the-scenes way. You may do a lot of things that aren't exactly noticeable. In some ways, sometimes I feel like this person's defended your reputation, or, kind of just spoken about you in a way that like kind of lifts up your ability to commit to things, even if other people don't see this commitment. So again, like what would be a real world example of that? Like, for instance, you're really working on a project and everyone thinks that you're not doing anything, and they're like, no, Susie is on that project for like 6 hours a day. You know what I mean? She's like holed up doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of vibe. So of course, keep that in mind as an example of what I mean by this. But yeah, and commit. Again, I feel like this person's loyal to you. They speak words of loyalty. You know what I mean? Whether it's directly or through how they respond to people. You know what I mean? Like if someone were to like talk down on you, this person would definitely, step up and be like, no. You know what I mean? There would be like a defensive mechanism that would pop up there, because they really do feel like this person is on your level and they see you as an equal. So, and it's like behind the scenes victories. I feel like, again, this person wants to speak about the things that they recognize in you, that they admire in you, but maybe other people don't see, right? I feel like that's definitely a way in which this person is like spoken about you. Like there's been something that maybe other people weren't seeing about you, but letting them know that you're victorious in some way, or that you're a winner, that you're committed, that you're successful. There's something there that I'm really picking up strongly. With the air spirit and knowledge, of course, this person thinks that you're intelligent. We have number 1 here. And I do feel in many ways you are number 1 in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like I do feel like this person, you are probably actually one of their first people that they would go to for a question. If they have a question. It's like kind of what to say. The answer. There's just a deep intelligence about you. I think that they really do express that, to other people, how smart you are. It's kind of like, when people ask about my husband, and I'll be like, oh, he can fix anything. And I believe it. You know what I mean? And that's just like the vibe I'm getting. It's like that example of like how I'll speak about my husband, and I'll be like, oh yeah, he can just fix anything. He's like so smart. So much smarter than I even, you know what I mean? And I do feel like that. Now, and that's the thing, it's funny with the turtle and the coriander, because this card in the reversal can talk about stagnation. Slow and steady might win the race, but standing still will get you nowhere. And that's the thing. I feel like in some way, certain people may not see your efforts. It's almost like maybe they're not, you know what I mean? Like sometimes people can be like that. If they don't see it visually, they don't understand it. It's kind of like my grandmother. She thinks that like all of this is like not real. And it's like I do readings for people like every day, and she still thinks I don't have a real job. And I'm like, this is like what I do, you know what I mean, for my livelihood, especially like personal readings and stuff like that. And it's like, and I've been doing them for like, 2 years now. And she thinks like, when are you going to get like a job? And I'm like, but grandma, like, I do this, and it's like a job for me, you know what I'm saying? And, just doesn't recognize it. And it feels so strongly that there's some kind of situation like that. And again, sorry for the personal example, but I wanted to illustrate what I meant by that. You know what I mean? It feels like that's something that this person has had to say about you in the past at some point, or they would be willing to say that, to go to bat, like, this person is very committed, even if you don't see it. They're absolutely doing something. And with victory in some endeavor, again, this person would talk about your strengths, the way that you shine, the way that you're victorious in life, but without, like I said, being willy-nilly, without being kind of wild, or you know what I mean? It's like you're risky, but not too risky. And that's a beautiful combination, right? Because too risky, you go off a cliff, but risky enough and you can avoid the cliff. Anyway, with, and being careful enough, right? And then we have wholeness with black mulberry. And to me, of course, wholeness, implies that this person feels whole with you. And again, I think that there is a strong aspect of commitment here. We have number 33, by the way. And I thought I'd mention those numbers. 33, we have 6, 9, 1, 31. So I was trying to read. I have such a horrible time reading Roman numerals upside down. It's like not funny. Okay. But yeah, in the black mulberry, it says here, everything should be coming together at present in projects and plans. The completion of something is indicated with black mulberries, and the energy of this fruit asks you to put your knowledge and your skills to the test. Balance and stability are present, and from this foundation, the possibilities are expanding. Setbacks, delays, and miscommunications are challenges to watch out for. And that's the thing. With that card, along with sincerity, it feels like this person has said about you, like this person's for real, like you are for real, that you are sincere, that you're truthful, that you're honest, that you're straightforward, that maybe there was a misunderstanding, or maybe someone misunderstands you. This person goes to bat for you, I'm telling you. Very much. I really get it. I don't feel like this person talks down at you at all. They are, very, like, they just talk about you in a very nice light. The Hermit, of course, could talk about, now for some of you, again, this might kind of dive into more specifics for some of you that may not resonate for everyone, but the Hermit could mean that you're quiet or away from them in some way, or they might speak about your absence, especially if you're not in contact with this person. There could be, we're not in contact, so that could be something that's mentioned. But sincerity, this person speaks good on you, and I just really get the fact also with sincerity and wholeness. It's like you're a very truthful person, a very honest person, a very giving, wholesome is what I get. Wholesome, that's exactly the word that I'm getting. Not wholeness, like wholesome. And so it's like you're a wholesome spirit, you're a wholesome person, and that's just it feels like this person speaks very well of you. Okay, now the Lovers could also indicate that this person has spoken about your relationship, and that could be with them, but also it can talk about your other relationships, maybe like the fact that you've taken a break from relationships, or that sort of thing. Of course, the Lovers as a person, when describing a person, can talk about somebody who is in tune with love, marriage, and romance, right? That's on their mind, or, part of their life. Again, they may talk about some sort of commitment that you have, like your marriage is an example as well. It's not overtly aggressive nor dangerously passive. It's a very balanced energy, right? And this also, it's so interesting because it can talk about if you're hesitating, to throw away the rule book, but it's not throwing away the rule book to like take a risk. It's like knowing when to play the game, you know what I mean? And when you need to take a risk, when not to take a risk. And again, I think that's something this person really talks about you. They also can talk about, having your differences, but somehow still also finding comfort in one another, or finding, a way to see eye to eye. Even if you come from different backgrounds or different, like culturally, or, whatever it may be, it's nice. And again, this can talk about like a, loving energy that they express about you, that they, that you have a loving, expressive, and sensual energy about you. And yeah, and I love this. And it feels like, of course the Lovers, we know, can speak about choices as well. So it might be, again, kind of highlighting your choices that you make and why you've made them, and so on and so forth as well. That's something I could see them saying about you too. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for those of you that chose group number 1. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and hopefully, it hit the nail on the head for some of you. I know that sometimes we might come into these readings really unaware. We wouldn't know how this person's going to talk about us, and some of you might be like, I'm none of those things. Remember, you are seeing yourself through your own eyes, and the world sees you through different ones. You know what I mean? A lot of the people in our lives don't see us the same way that we do, especially when we're insecure, and when we have insecurities that, kind of dictate how we see ourselves. And so remember, we always think about 50 times worse of ourselves than other people do. So yeah, this is what I'm seeing about this person. And like I said, if you like this video and you want to see more content like it, I'd really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you stick around. And what else? Thank you in advance for any tips, donations through, the thanks button up above, or my wish list. I appreciate each and every one of those, and I always, makes me smile. But a comment is free, and it really makes me smile, because comments really help every YouTuber, kind of get engagement. And so it's always a helpful thing. and not only for me, but for any other YouTuber you enjoy. You know, leaving a comment, even if it's a simple hello or thank you or whatever, it really makes not only our day, but it does help our algorithm and stuff like that in YouTube. But anyway, if you'd like a personal reading with me, that is available through my description box, as well as joining here as a member and getting exclusive pick-a cards. Check that out. There are 3 different tiers with different, you know, things. But I need to update the information because actually I've been putting out a consistent 6 extra pick-a cards for the middle tier per month, and a lot of those also go to the first tier as well, at least some of them. And yeah, anyway, so I need to update that, but it has to get approved through YouTube and stuff like that, so I just haven't gotten around to it. I wish you the very best, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. If you've chosen group number 2 here, let's see what's up. What does this person say about you? So, beautiful flower you've chosen. And we're going to find out all about this person and what they say. So I can tell you right away with the funnel, this person's vented about you before, okay? We have period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I feel like this person's definitely vented about you in the past. They've also said happy things too, so it's not all negative. Perhaps, you know, when there's been frustrations between the two of you, you know what I mean, or you've been irritating them, they'll go and vent. And some of you may be well aware of that because you're like, oh yeah, we've had our quarrels, we've had our problems. You know what I'm saying? The vulture and the asphodel. Oh, upheaval. That's interesting. We also have moonlight, enchantment, magic. We've also talked about transition. What? We've also talked about transition. Why did I say it that way? What the heck? I'm so embarrassed. I don't know. Well, they've also talked about some sort of transition, so it might be changes that you've been making in your life, right? We have grace. We have the 2 of Swords, trauma, healing, and deep dive, as well as the 6 of Cups. So this person, oh my goodness. I feel like you guys have probably been through a few journeys with this person. I feel like this isn't the type of thing where you barely know them and maybe you're just kind of curious. If that is the case, I honestly highly doubt that you've chosen the right pile. I think you might have want to go back to the beginning and maybe choose something different, okay? So I feel like these are established connections, ones in which there have been ups and downs, okay? So we have frustration. Like I said, I do feel like this person has vented about you before, as I mentioned. And with the vulture and the asphodel, it's like upheaval. So again, there might have been upheavals in the relationships, in your relationships, or like the relationship with this person that they've spoken about. I really do feel that strongly because we have also trauma, healing, and deep dive. And you know, maybe this is like coming from that, like the person healing through speaking about the situation, venting, getting it out of our, you know, we all are, you know, humans, and we want to be heard or need advice and stuff like that. So again, I'm pretty sure this person's probably, like I said, vented, maybe asked for advice about the situation, like what to do, how to handle the situation, that sort of thing. We also have the vulture, and it feels like this person, especially if all has been lost, they were still sort of picking at it, as an example. Or they could feel like you've picked at them. Anyway, so the upright, trauma has occurred and you need time to grieve. Cleanse your wounds carefully before attempting to move on. We have a person who's very sympathetic to loss that you've been through. So even if they have vented, and again, I don't mean to say like that as something that you shouldn't be upset. I mean, we all done it, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. Especially with those that we're close to. I mean, it's just impossible to have a perfect, you know, kind of situation where we've never done that. It just doesn't exist. Because I still feel like this person, they say good things about you as well. It's nothing like all negative, right? I feel like this person's discussed some sort of trauma that you've had or some sort of difficulty. some sort of upheaval. So if there was like a death in your family or something like quite traumatic, as an example, that's happened to you, this person's probably disgusted with others. Okay, they probably have brought it up. You know what I mean? They may have even made excuses for you or something like, okay, well, they're going through a big transition in their life. You know, give them a break, that sort of thing. To be honest, this person, I think, is vented in particular though about you not seeing their side of things. Okay, I do feel like this person's probably been upset about that when you've had disagreements, or when you haven't, like, again, seen something eye to eye, as an example. Like, oh, why isn't, like, Barbara, like, seeing my side? Like, she never wants to see my side, that kind of thing. Like, oh, she's not seeing that this is a bad idea, this guy's the wrong one for her, or you know what I mean, like this kind of stuff. Nothing that puts you down. Okay, this person doesn't hate you. This person doesn't, like, it's normal kind of stuff that we have, right? When we're looking, it's like, okay, there's venting, which is like shit talking, right? And then there's venting where we're trying to come up with a solution. You know what I mean? We want to, like, help someone, or we need some sort of feedback in order to sort of make this go better. You know what I mean? Like, so do you know what I'm saying? There's two different types of that, venting type of stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, and it's more like that. I don't think this person's like, oh my God, Barbara's a bitch and I can't stand her. You know what I mean? No. It's not that kind of stuff, okay? Cauliflower heralds a change. This might have happened recently, be happening soon, or the energy around a change is unsettled. A rebirth can take place, and if you're holding on to what's gone before it's time to let go for good. A reactivation can take place in any area of your life if there's been a lull or setback. Be wary of deceit and corruption. Now here's the thing. I feel like this person may have thought at some point or said about you that you don't see all the potential pitfalls. And that's another thing. It's kind of like, man, I don't want that person to make a mistake. Like, oh gosh, you know what I mean? Like, I would say caring venting. You know what I mean? Even if they're not right. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not right, even if they've hurt your feelings. Some people really are sincerely just hoping for someone to see the light, even if it's not the light that you need to see, right? But there are many people that really just honestly are trying to be productive, trying to be helpful. It's that kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying? But what's interesting about that transition card is we talk about rebirth happening. And we have the Six of Cups here, so I'm very inclined to believe that this person's talked about reconnecting with you, perhaps apologizing, especially for those of you that are in no contact situations. Wow, they've definitely talked about you, that's for sure. And this is that one that's really has definitely talked about you. But the other thing I was going to say is that it feels like there's a lot of memories that they bring up. Old times. Oh, with my friend we did this, or my friend we did that, or my person we did this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of talk about the past and memories. And that's, again, one of the things that really signaled to me that this is probably not like, Joe that you met last week. It's someone you've known for a long time. But yeah. And again, childhood traumas as well could come through here. By the way, they could have spoken about some sort of childhood trauma or one that you went through when you were quite young. But I get this idea of them really speaking about, like, even reconnection. We have moonlight enchantment with magic. Of course, I think for some of you, if you do magic, they've spoken about that. That's definitely something there. One second, where did this thing go? Of course it's there. I wanted to look at the grace card. One second, I'm just going to step up for a moment. Thank you for being patient here. It says here, living in grace is a complex and deeply emotional experience. It involves opening yourself to and accepting all the joys and gifts of life, including love, compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like you guys have been through a lot. Love, compassion, forgiveness, moments of, you know what I mean? And all the things that those encompass, right? And it says here, this card is calling you to let go of inhibitions and trust in a higher force to carry you to where you're meant to be. Accept who you are completely with the flaws and the gifts, and be grateful for all experiences and emotions. They make us genuinely alive and help us create the amazing person we are. And of course, we know that grace is often, associated with that. Yeah, again, love and compassion, and you having grace in all situations, or in particular situations. I feel like this person's really spoken about you, and they speak about the ups and the downs. You know what I mean? Just as, and it's like equally. You know what I'm saying? It's like the person, it's like sometimes, you hear people talk, like as an example, if this is like an ex, and you hear like exes, they'll talk about, and you can tell a lot about people the way that they speak about their ex people. You know what I mean? Like whether it's an ex friend or an ex, lover or whatever, ex boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever. When they are just solely shit talking them, usually it shows that there's probably a whole lot other side of the story. At least in my experience, from my observations, you know what I mean? But when one kind of honestly looks at it and says, they were so good at this, but we had this problem. It feels like there's a balance here, is what I feel like, in the way that this person speaks about you. It's not like they just only speak ill; they speak of the good times too. And I think that's really important for some of you to hear, that this person doesn't only speak, badly or poorly, especially if you're worried about that, especially for those of you that are feeling that way, that need that message at this moment. I really feel like Spirit's bringing that through for us to say, hey, this person doesn't only talk bad, you know what I mean? Especially if you kind of came into this reading thinking, okay, well, they probably just hate me or something, or, you have a very negative opinion, okay? They talk about the good and the bad. Or they have spoken about the good and the bad, you know what I mean? In general. But yeah, there's definitely a magical quality. And again, like I said, for some of you, they have spoken to you as like a witch, or somebody that's magical, that's into spiritual stuff, or again, working magic, you know what I mean? Somebody who can create something out of nothing, or somebody who has abilities, or, some kind of otherworldly sense, like, oh man, Jane has a lot of like supernatural experiences, or, Jane's had a lot of like, it's like she makes things happen, or it's like magical you know what I mean, kind of like speaking in that way, like not literally saying like, oh, she's a magic, well, maybe, but I feel like more so I'm trying to give you guys like examples of how this might have been spoken about. But yeah, I really do feel like this person, they've spoken, like I said, the good and the bad, but again, a lot about like past, things, and talking even about healing the connection too, for some of you, like, how can I heal this, how can I fix this? I do feel like this person might be quite reflective. Maybe I will say that this person probably thinks more than they say, though. I will tell you that much. I do feel like they're definitely that type of person. They don't always speak out, so I wouldn't say this person goes around talking about you a lot. In fact, I think they keep most of it to themselves. But I would say that when they do, they've kind of done what I've said. And they definitely have spoken about you. Like, I'm not saying that they never do at all. They definitely have. And I'm picking that up strongly. But yeah, what an interesting reading, you guys. Wow. This was a different one. I hate when sometimes I do these type of readings and they feel so generic. And it's just like, oh yeah, they said you're beautiful and they said this and that. And I'm, not, sometimes that's why I don't like doing them, because sometimes the messages always kind of come out like, it's almost like collectively similar or something like that. And I just like, but I felt drawn to doing this today. And again, we always should listen to our intuition, right? And I try to do it too with my own, work. And like I said, I really felt drawn to do this. And look at what an interesting, unique message came through. And hopefully it sits, well with you. If you like this topic, you want to see more of it, let me know in the comments down below. But also through liking, just giving me a thumbs up and seeing that I got likes. That really helps me know, hey, people like that topic. And if you have any suggestions, don't be afraid to leave them down below in the comments. At all. And I wish you the very best. If you'd like a personal reading with me, you can do that through my description box. You can also join here as a member on the channel and get exclusive pick-a cards. And there are 3 different tiers. Each one offers a little bit different things, but I will tell you just kind of an updated sort of like what you get in terms of pick-a cards that are exclusive. I've done 6 consistently through the last 3 months, so I would expect about 6 of them in the middle tier, which is the world tier. In that tier, then you're going to get 6. In the moon tier, which is the cheaper first level one, you do get some of those videos, okay? So you're going to get probably about half of them, I would say. So anyway, I thought I'd let you know that just because I haven't updated that information yet. And with the 3rd tier, you get all of the above. You get everything pretty much, plus a personal reading every month. So pretty cool deal if you like getting a personal reading every month. But I wish you the very best, and take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. If you've chosen this beautiful white flower, this is going to be your reading. So let me just cleanse the area, and we're going to get started. So beautiful flower that you've chosen. And let's get started. What does this person say about you? Oh, nice. We've got the card Truth. So they probably have, spoken about what a truthful and honest and direct person you are. And this can come up into scenarios where they've defended you as a truth, speaker, that you're not a liar, even, right? Well, so-and-so saying the truth, you know what I mean? Or they're not lying. Definitely, I could see that, okay? So for some of you, that's interesting. This person they may have your back. We have the Knight of Cups as well as the 6 of Swords. Ooh, wow. This is like traveler vibes. Maybe you're well traveled. Maybe you've gone a lot of places, or you just seek answers. That's another thing I'm getting, like a seeker of answers. We have responsibility. And we've got the 10 of Swords. You take responsibility even when it hurts, even when you're down, even when you're out. You take responsibility and you get it done. I feel like you guys are, this person at least perceives you as to be a person who values your responsibilities, and you know what they are, and you'll continue on even through the worst of the times. Okay, we've got gratitude. You may have helped this person through a lot of things in the past. Wow, okay. This is so fascinating because I wish I didn't live shuffle. I wished I would have in this case because of the cards, because they're just so like synchronistic and wow. Okay. Okay, let's see. We have number 36, number 49. We have number 8, 10, 6, and that's all. Okay, so those numbers, just in case they mean something. We have the scales, keep your life in balance. And we have Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assure success. Now we have 2 cards that use the words strength. Okay, so the fact that you're a very strong person, this person's said it, whether they think you're physically capable of strength, and you show in a very physical way, as in like you get a lot done, perhaps, but also in other ways. I feel like this person, they have spoken about you as a person who's very strong, who's very secure within yourself. And we have Grace showing up here, beautiful. Wise woman of the grove. Wow, really, Lisa. I can't believe this. I'm like kind of like, it's like I'm on that thing where I just can't see the things right. It's like one of those days. No, but the wise woman of the grove really makes you feel like you have a lot of wisdom, and maybe even wiser than your years is what I'm getting. Maybe because of experiences that you've been through as well. You know what I mean? Like it's like you've gained that wisdom through experience. And gaining wisdom through experience is like, it often could be quite hardcore. And I have to say, with the 10 of Swords here, this person may have, spoken about you being quite hardcore, quite strong, quite like, got your stuff together. But you have such a loving and caring and giving heart. I feel like you often say thank you or words of, affirmation to people. I feel like they're grateful for you in their life. And I would say that they've spoken about this, that they are grateful for what you've brought them. Even when you may in some way have impacted this person to where they've had to face certain responsibilities in their life, and it's sort of like, that was a good lesson, or that was something I needed to know. I do feel like for some of you, if there has been a heartbreaking ending, this person recognizes each person's part, including yours. And they may have spoken about this to somebody as well. With gratitude, of course, like I said, it definitely gives me that indication that they've been very grateful for you, that they've expressed this gratitude to others. It's the pink rose, by the way. And it says here, there's a reason to be thankful and helps on its way to balance energies. Balance energies, and we have to keep your life in balance. And I think that you've probably helped them, and they've spoken about this. But anyway, it says here, pink roses will show you that ways to happiness are opening up for you and that there will be a reason to be joyful. Something of value is in focus at present. This could be the exchange of a gift, a windfall, or the sale of a large item, or simply a discussion around it. Be careful that you do not interfere where you're not welcome, and be wary of legal deception. Well, here it's funny because it talks about exchange of a gift, a windfall, or a sale of a large item. So again, that may resonate to where they've spoken about something that you're selling. Or again, being grateful because you've helped them through a difficult time. Okay? And yeah, the Six of Swords, like I said, they could speak about you traveling or being a bit of a traveler. Again, moving on. It could talk about how you've moved on. They may talk about a new relationship, especially if this is an ex. Okay? Not for all of you, but that's for those specifically where this is an ex of some kind. They do speak about, about that. The Six of Swords talks about a harmonious and peaceful movement. And again, I think that they see you as somebody who has the wisdom to know when to move forward, when to kind of move on. And again, seeking things that are more harmonious rather than stressful, right? And again, taking holidays, vacation, relaxing, traveling, all indicated here as well. And yeah, so I definitely feel like this person's probably spoken about that. You know what I mean? The Knight of Cups can be quite romantic, and it could mean that they've spoken about you in a very romantic way or about your romantic life. And they may have even asked for advice on how to improve things between the two of you. I do feel like this person's definitely approached somebody and talked about their responsibility in any demise or problem. I'm going to say, for some of you, again, specifically more for those of you that have an ex. But yeah, I feel like you being around you makes them feel good. And I feel like this person's spoken about how much experience and wisdom you have in life. And again, like I say, wisdom through experience. It's like you've done that thing. You've experienced that thing. So you would know. And so it's like this person may recommend you to other people as like, oh, well, you should ask Deborah or whatever, or because she knows, you know what I'm saying? She's been there, she's done that, she had that business, she had this thing, you know what I mean? It's like that sort of thing, like where they speak about you in a way, it's like where they know you have the knowledge, or they express that to someone else. Maybe someone could get advice from you, that sort of thing. Now with the elk and the ash, it says here, you're called to gather your strength ahead of a challenge. Face it with confidence in your own stamina. Tame any unruly elements that try to derail you. And again, dealing with things in a graceful way, in a way of wisdom. It's not just about, even thinking about the elk, it's like this very like regal sort of leadership, based kind of animal. It's very like kind of, king of the forest, like Bambi's dad. But anyway, it doesn't matter what you're, those things. Of course, if you're a father, this may have been brought up, but just in general, like that you can take leadership, that you can take a role of wisdom and knowing when to kind of fight, when to pull back, and that sort of thing. I feel like this person may have spoken about how to improve things between the two of you. If that's, something that could fit your situation. Of course, that may not be for everyone. This person may have lied to you at some point and takes responsibility or has some sort of regret about that. But that's not for everyone. It feels like slightly specific, and I feel like you guys would really know it. If you're questioning that message, you're like, why, what? Then it's not your message, okay? This person knows, I mean, this person feels like you know how to say the truth in a very, like, kind of kind way, with like tenderness and compassion. And they've spoken about, again, it feels like they've spoken about your wisdom and about maybe even your forgiveness, your value. Again, they may have spoken about some sort of item that exists between the two of you, like a ring or something. Again, that's sort of a channeled thing, so keep that in mind. I feel like this person does treasure you, and they've spoken about that to others. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I want to say this person speaks well, about you. And it seems very uplifting. It doesn't feel, even despite that Ten of Swords and responsibility, the shadow work card here, it's not about, anything bad. Maybe they have spoken about a terrible ending, but I don't feel like it's like they speak as if like, oh, they're in fault. It's their fault and they did this. It's like there's equal responsibility, you know? They don't just speak poorly. Again, I think for most of you, actually, this person, like I said initially, was like, the type to speak about how you take responsibility no matter how hard things are for you. You know what I mean? You might be the type of person who goes into work, like, even when you're not feeling well. Or, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I won't let anyone down. I'm going to, do my responsibility. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like you keep it going. And you just wait for things to get better. I do feel like that there's a very hopeful nature to you. And they've probably spoken about that before as well. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for those of you that chose group number 3. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Leave me a like, if you can, to let me know you like this topic. And then, of course, I'll know whether to do more of these or not. But I'd love a comment, even if it's a simple thank you or a hello. I love hearing from you down below, and it's also very helpful for the algorithm. So it's a double win. For those of you that want to, go beyond that, you can always leave me a donation up at the top by pushing that thanks button. And there's also my wish list, and I appreciate each and every one of you that does want to get back to the channel in that way. But everyone's love is equal, and I appreciate each and everything, no matter what you put in, to it. But yeah, if you want a personal reading with me, that's available through Etsy, which is in the description box, that link as well. And then if you want to join here as a member, you can do that too. And I have 3 different tiers, and we have tier 1, 2, and 3. It goes the moon, the world, and the sun. And each tier kind of has a little bit of different perks, but the farther you go up, the more you get. So you always get the previous tier. So tier 3, as an example, gets all the things that tier 1 and 2 have, plus a personal reading every month. But you know what I mean? Anyway, pick a card readings. There are exclusive ones. For the middle tier, which is the world tier, they've had 6 consistently every month for the past 3 months. So about 6 extra pick a cards. You have a lot of freedom in requests as well. So that's always a bonus. And yeah, anyway, this is your reading, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And let me know, like I said, down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. If you chose this last group, this is your reading. So, what beautiful flowers. And this one has 2 of them. What the heck is that? My hair. I've been having falling hair like crazy. Beautiful, beautiful. So I love that, because it's funny that I just kind of intuitively grabbed that, and there are 2 flowers there rather than 1 like the others. So that's really interesting. We'll see if that means anything as I kind of keep going. We'll see. So we have got beginnings, with the daffodil. We have got the Magician. This person speaks well about your skills, especially skills with your hands and with your, your words, okay? We have Ego. We have the Knight of Swords. We have Energy with the orange. Daffodil Fairy, New Beginnings. The Fox and the Ivy. Scissors, Disappointment in Some Affair. Bow, You're Highly Thought of. And the Vine, Seek out information that will help you. What does this person say about you? Well, I can tell you, I see two cards that kind of really stick out to me because they have similarities. And that's beginnings and new beginnings. Okay? So I have a good feeling that this person's spoken about some sort of beginnings. Maybe this person speaks about the start of your relationship, or again, if it's a new, fresh connection, it's sort of like they talk about, the potential or kind of what's going on. I feel like, though, more so, it's going to be along the lines of someone who speaks about you starting something new, whether it's like, you've started a new job or you've moved or something like that. Even if it's your connection having a new beginning, it's like, that sort of thing. I do feel like at some point, maybe recently, maybe farther behind, where we're at now, you have kind of hurt this person's ego in some way, and they have asked for advice on you. Okay? So, quite interesting. It's not, a bad thing. With Disappointment in Some Affair, though, and Seek Out Information that will help you, I feel like this person, what do they say? Well, they ask about you or ask questions about you. They may even kind of investigate a little bit about you from other people. But I feel in some way that this may be somewhat related to the ego. This person may sometimes not always see things clearly, although I feel like this person has spoken highly of you, okay? To those of you that know that this person is a little bit of a snake in the grass, because I don't want to frighten some of you, because I don't want you to think if this person has shown nothing but, trustworthy behavior, then this is not your message, okay? Like, don't even listen to this part, because I don't want you to get worried. But for those of you that know this person can be a bit of a, kind of difficult person, like maybe it hasn't always been easy, that maybe sometimes they're a little bit gossipy or difficult, this person may have tried to manipulate a little bit about you. That's a possibility. So that's interesting. But again, it doesn't seem as if it's a bad thing per se either. Do you know what okay, I'm going to give you an example. It's almost like the person who makes like little comments, and it comes from like a little place of hurt. So, okay, gosh, let me think of a good example here. I feel like, okay, so say somebody, okay, we have like, okay, let's say we have like Olivia, okay? We have Olivia here, and then we've got Jade. And Jade says like, oh wow, did you know, and you're like this third person, did you know that so-and-so like got like 4.0 in university? Wow. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, but I like helped them. It feels like, oh, but like, oh, well, she wouldn't have passed that test if it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? This person kind of responds with ego a little bit. It's like, and it's not because they don't think highly. I think that they have issues a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you that much. It's like sort of like they would want to take the credit in some way, or they would want to sort of, it's almost like they want to dismiss it, but it's not because they don't like you or whatever. It's just like it's their issue. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Okay? Anyway, I feel like this person has spoken a lot about your ability to get things done. And they have spoken about certain disappointments with you in the past, is one thing I'm getting, like I said. We've got the fox here, and I want to look at that card a little bit more. Let me see. What is it? 27. Okay. I can't see the Roman numerals too well underneath my, without glasses. I think I was 20. Oh, wait. Yeah. 27. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay. And it says here that your stubbornness may be holding you back. Remain open-minded and beware of becoming stuck in our ways. Interesting. So, of course, they might talk about, you know what's funny is I feel like some of you, they have spoken about how they think that you could do better in some way, or that you could improve upon something. I feel like this person, they think very highly of you, and they think that you have a lot of potential about something. Like there's something in you that shows great potential. And it's like they may have like kind of wanted to see some more action out of you, or for you to take control of something as well. You know what I'm saying? This person though, they say that you are an absolute like amazing person. Like you definitely have certain skills, and like I said, they may have something to do with your hands. So you may do like certain handiwork or something that's like kind of, it's like there's a talent. Again, it could be like playing an instrument, you know what I mean? Because you have to have like, piano as an example, or guitar, you have to have, this sort of skill. It also could be like artistic in some way, whether it's sewing or, painting or what have you. This person thinks you're greatly capable of something. And it's like you're talented and you're multi-talented to this person, which I think sometimes may affect them a little bit. Maybe. Let me see here. Number 28 with the orange. Adventure and rapid progress are indicated, and it's specifically anchored to your true purpose and the direction you're currently taking. Oranges indicate that anything is possible, although you need to get that willpower working hard. That's really interesting, because what did we say? Like the willpower working hard, it almost feels like this person has opinions, perhaps, about how you could redirect your energy in a more efficient way, and at least in terms of their mind. Okay? There will be challenges, but you can overcome them. Again, this person thinks you're very capable, so they don't say it out of malice. Okay, and someone around you may need extra support at this time. Be wary of apathy or losing interest too soon before giving something a chance, and of negativity. Again, this person may think that you're very much influenced by other people sometimes, or around other situations, other energies. Maybe you get distracted very easily, but it's like, I feel like generally the oranges bring really good energy. In fact, I love to put citrus things in my house because it just smells good and it really boosts our energy. So the thing is that I still feel like this person, they think quite highly of you, but it feels like in some way they may have certain opinions, and they may not necessarily be well informed. By the way, with the Knight of Swords, we can have a bit of a know-it-all. Somebody who thinks they know it all, but they're not the king, and they don't know everything. And so it may be like, well, so-and-so needs to do this because I think so. And maybe they are a little bit too big for their britches. Maybe they don't fully understand every possibility. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's easier said than done. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. But this person thinks you can do really anything. Again, like I said, there's a double like kind of message here, because it's like, although they may say these things, or they may kind of speak of this, it feels like they still think you're super capable. Like I said, super talented, super capable, and, full of potential. And it's like, it may frustrate them in some way that you're not always using all the potential that they think you have. Because again, like I said, you're still highly thought of. You know what I mean? By this person. And they say things about you that indicate that, right? And And what's so funny is a magician, as an advice, it usually talks about, you know, not being afraid to seek the advice should you need it. And we have seek out information that will help you. So again, you may know the right way to find the answers. And that's something they've said, like, oh, you know, give it to, you know, Jackie, she knows how to find anyone online, or you know what I mean, or this one's really good at investigating, or she'll figure it out, or he'll figure it out, or whatever. So you might have really good like research skills as well, like kind of detective skills, research skills, that sort of thing as well. And again, this could talk about somebody who's well-rounded, sees the subtleties around them, that sort of thing. Now, of course, the Knight of Swords can show a very bright and articulate energy, and I think this person, they do think highly of you, like I said, and they know that you have knowledge, and they probably have spoken about that. But sometimes there can be like a little bit of a moodiness here, and again, they may have spoken about moodiness with you. But yeah, very smart. I think this person thinks you're very smart. And I think that there's just been a lot to be said about some sort of new beginnings. Again, with the ego, this also could be about them wishing that your ego was strong despite disappointment, that you wouldn't let things knock you down. In many ways, this person feels like they really do root for you. Even if maybe sometimes they have unhealthy ways or something like that. Again, I'm not excusing them. I'm just saying what I feel. But again, for some of you, it's not relevant, that part of it. They're not really speaking poorly of you. They may just kind of feel like you have so much potential that they wish that you would kind of go for it, right? But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I feel like this person wishes you new beginnings, like new good things, new possibilities. Like again, I feel like this person comes from a good place in that they wish nothing but the best for you. But anyway, that's what I've got for you guys. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this reading and that was interesting for you. And if you like this kind of video, leave a like down below because it helps me know that you guys like this and that I can make more like this in the future. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That'd be wonderful to have you here on the channel for future videos. Turn on those notifications if you want to get notified. But yeah, if you want a personal reading with me, you can do that through the description box. I have an Etsy store where you can purchase one. And if you would like to get more exclusive content, you can join here on the channel. And there are 3 different tiers that offer each, different things. But I will say for the middle tier, the world tier, they've been getting on an average of 6 videos per month exclusive beyond my channel, like beyond what's for public view. And so, you know what I mean? That's a cool thing. I've done like 18, I think I have 18 videos up there right now, maybe 19. Anyway, so yeah, and they're all timeless and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And then on tier 3, you get all of those things. Plus you get a personal reading with me every month too. So very cool deal. Anyway, thank you to all of to all of you that support me, that leave comments, likes, and everything like that. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I wish you nothing but the best, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.